Alright, hamstring curls, guys. So, hamstring curls in general are a very controversial movement in the personal training community, and the reason for that is that when you do it on a machine, and that's the one that's really, really controversial, you're locking down your femur as you're going through that movement. You're in a seated position, so you're in less of an anatomical position when you're going through that movement. And the way that the force is pushed into that joint is actually going to cause a lot more tenderness and cartilage stress throughout that, and you're going to slowly start deteriorating your knees. So a lot of people who really focus on those bodybuilders who are focusing on size and they're doing hamstring curls, they're doing quad extensions, they're going to generally have bad knees. In fact, you're going to see them wrapping their knees in elastics and whatnot to kind of help stabilize and support that joint. And part of the reason why they're doing that is because they've freaking destroyed their knees. So, to get into a TRX, I'm going to go palms up, right, just like that, fingers back facing towards me. I'm going to put it on both sides of my hips. I'm going to roll back. I'm going to drop both feet in at the same time. Now, I'm not centered there. There we go. In an ideal world, I'd be wearing freaking shoes because this is going to dig into my heels a bit. So, I'm going to be up. I want to keep my belly button tucked and go into a little bit of posterior pelvic tilt here. And my hips will rise, right? Now, you don't have to make your hips rise, guys. If you can't do that, this is fine. But I'm telling you right now that the resistance on that is almost nothing, right? But if that's all you can do, that's all you can do, right? So, I'm here, and I come up. Now, you don't need a TRX. Now, my mats are pretty smooth, and I just tried this out, so I know it's going to work. But generally, if I have mats like this, these are very smooth mats. If I have a wood floor like that or tile with very little grout line to it, I can put a washcloth or something like that. And actually, I believe my partner in crime, which Robert, who's one of the personal trainer that I live with, the other personal trainer, this would be like a slider. I'm not sure how well this one would. Nah, maybe if I flip it. No. So on this surface, it's not gonna work. But anyways, you could put sliders under your hands, washcloths or whatever, but basically you're going to go through the same movement. So I tuck my tailbone like a scared dog, push my belly button in, and I draw in, and I come out. Now you're going to find that once you get all the way up into the up position in that you're going to lose resistance because your tibia is now, and fibula are now parallel to gravity, and we want to have them perpendicular for the most resistance. So don't hang out in that fully curled position, spend as little time in there as possible. Now, the way that I usually actually prefer doing this, because there's more of a stability element to it, is going to be with a physio ball. And again, it's kind of the same movement here, right? So, feet shoulder width apart, toes straight up, knees straight up, come up into this position. I'm tucking my tailbone like a scared dog, squeezing my feet. I'm going to pull up, and I'm going to rise up. Notice, guys, if you could see here, there's no tension on my neck. In fact, there's space underneath here. So I'm not putting weight on my neck, it's on my shoulders. Here I do have some resistance, right? Because there's like that stability element going on there. So I come down, boom. So I'm trying to start, here's the fattest point in my calf. I'm just below that. That's where I place the ball. That's going to give me plenty of room to come up. And I guess I haven't really thought about it. So it would be kind of bullshit for me to kind of tell you this, but the size of the ball totally does matter, right? So the ball that I have here, when picking a physio ball, when I sit on the ground, my legs are, 90-degree bend here. And that's the size of physio ball that I'd recommend using. If you're using a smaller ball, your angle to the ground and the angle of resistance is going to change. So the amount of resistance is going to change. If you use a bigger ball, the resistance is going to change. Your relativity to gravity is going to change. So, but at the moment, because I haven't really thought about it as much, I would think that a smaller ball would be harder because your torso, your lifting is more parallel to the ground. But I could actually be wrong on that. So don't quote me on it. because like I said, when your shins become parallel with gravity, that's where you have the least resistance if you're doing it on the floor. So I have a couple theories that I have to work through my head to be able to figure out, okay, which one's actually harder. But I think the difference is generally pretty minute. So yeah, those are 3 different ways of doing that hamstring curl that are knee friendly.